Hello everyone, in this section we introduce FVS product basic information. Part 1, FVS product installation and interface introduction. First of all, let's learn about the FVS client configuration recommendations. Here, the table shows us the recommended configurations. The client is the end that accesses the server and browses the FVS templates. In the case of a 3D scene, there are requirements for the graphics performance of the client's device. The more complex the 3D content and the grander the scene, the higher the graphics card requirements. Template designer also have the need to browse the template and can slightly reduce the requirements based on the client environment, but it's best to have a discrete graphics card as well. For more information, click on the document. Next, we proceed with the installation of the plugin. The FVS plugin is built into the designer after version 11.0.9. In Fine Report Designer Server Plugin Management, search for FVS and you can see that we have installed the FVS plugin. In My Plugins, you can disable, delete, update these plugins. If you need to install locally, then you can download the plugin and then click Local Install, select the plugin package we just downloaded. After installing the plugin, click File New FVS Visualization Dashboard, then we can create an FVS dashboard. When creating a dashboard, you can choose to create a blank dashboard or choose a template resource to build. Select Create Blank FVS Dashboard, you can set visualization dashboard name and canvas size. For version 2.1.0 and later plugin versions, you can double-click on the size you need to create a dashboard quickly. Select a template resource to create a dashboard. You can choose the template you need in Resource Center and click Create to create a template. After entering the FVS dashboard, let's learn about the interface and functions of FVS as a whole. First of all, the top of the designer as well as the left area follows the FR Designer display, which is the menu bar, file area and data source respectively. Above the template shows the Template tab. When we open multiple templates, we can quickly switch templates here. The left side of the area above the template shows the component list bar, which consists of 6 categories of component as well as component resources. Click on the other to see the 3 main components, text, media, and container. In the center is Operation Toolbar, including undo and redo buttons. On the right side of it is Template Setting area, containing Switch Theme Style and Template Setting buttons. On the rightmost side is Saving and Preview area, where you can select PC or mobile terminal, as well as Save and Preview template. In the FVS Data Visualization plugin version 2.1.1 and later versions, you can switch between PC and mobile modes. Here is Component Layer area. When we add a component to the canvas, the Component Layer area will show the name of the added component. You can quickly find, rename, delete, hide, and lock components. You can change the position to the left or right of the canvas, and you can collapse or expand the area. The center of the designer is Canvas Main area, where we can add components within the canvas and align components by adding canvas auxiliary lines. Below, we can create, copy, and paste page. We also can perform preview playback setting for multiple pages. The bottom of the page shows Canvas Attribute area, where you can modify the canvas size, canvas adaptation mode, and canvas zooming scale. The right side of the template is Configuration bar. Next, let's introduce Part 2, Component Type and Attribute. FVS supports 6 major types of components, namely, 3D components, charts, text components, media components, containers, and components. 3D components contain 3D City, Custom Model and Unity. Chart components include all basic and extended charts built into Fine Report. Text components contain title, rich text, table and time. Media components include local video, surveillance video and image. Container components contain iframe, tab, absolute canvas and expansion. Widget include all kinds of commonly used widgets. Resource Center is packaged components and do not belong to component type. The FVS component contains a variety of properties, interaction, animation and component. For more details, you can check the documentation. Let's take this bar chart as an example and view its interaction events. The component supports click events, and there are a variety of event types supported in click events. You can also enable monitoring refresh. Animation is animating components when switching between pages. Under Component Style or Component Attributes on the right of each component, you can set up the component's border background, corner radius, ground glass, reflection, shadow, and other effects, as well as the component's name, size, 3D effect, and other attributes. Let's have a little demonstration here. For example, the border background is set to color. The border line can be set to its line shape, thickness, and color. Regarding the corner radius, you can set it as overall or singly. For example, we set it overall, and you can see the effect in the canvas immediately after modifying it. Enable reflection. The 3D rotation makes the component more three-dimensional. Set the opacity of the component is also supported. These components' attributes are supported by most of the components. Some of the components have some differences. Please refer to the documentation for details. Next, I will show you basic component operation. The basic operations include add, copy, delete, align, combine, adjust layers, lock, and hide. For example, if we select a component in the canvas, we can delete the component directly by using Delete key. Click or drag the component to the canvas. You can use Ctrl+C or Ctrl+V to copy the component. You can also select the component, right-click to copy, then select the place you want to copy, then right-click to paste it, or hold down the Alt key and drag the component to the one you want to copy. In the canvas, we can directly box the component, or hold down the Shift key and click on our component to realize multiple selection. Now we select two components. You can align the components left, center, middle, etc. When you select multiple components, you can also combine them. After combining the components, the first one selected is our combination. You can pull it freely and do any operation on the combination. If you want to cancel the combination, just click Ungroup. In the component layer area, you can adjust the component layer by dragging and dropping. You can also right-click on the selected component to adjust the layer, bring forward, send backward, bring to front, and so on. In the component layer, we can choose to hide or show the component, and we can also lock the component. After locking the component, you can't operate the component. Then we introduce Part 3, Resource Center and Reuse. My FVS Resource Management is a space for centralized management of all resources under the current project. Resource types include templates, components, images, and videos. First, let's learn about how various resources are reused. The template resource can only be reused by using templates to create dashboard when creating a visual dashboard. For example, if we select a template from Resource Center and create a dashboard, you can modify these tables or indicators directly from the template. In the FVS Canvas interface, we add a new picture component. Image resource can be reused by selecting the Resource Center in the image content, or by selecting the Resource Center in the component border background. As well as the page background, you can also select the Resource Center for reuse. For video resources, you can only reuse them by selecting My Resources in the Resource Center. Video resources do not support reusing online resources. Regarding component resource reuse, click Resource. We can click or drag the component to add the component to the canvas in My Resource, and then adjust it according to our needs. As we just mentioned, the component resources in the Resource Center are not directly accessible. They need to be generated as component resources before they can be accessed here. So how to customize our component resources? For example, we add two new components. Here we need to generate a component resource for these two components. When we click on these two components and right-click on them, there is no option to generate the component resource directly. Instead, we need to combine the two components first, then select the group, right-click, and choose Save to FVS Resource Center. Then it will pop up the component information page. We can fill in the component information. You can modify the component name, describe the resource, modify the cover, select the component type, select the group to save to, and create a group. Fill in the information and click OK to generate the component. Then we can see our newly generated component resource in Resource My Resource. If it is not updated immediately, click Refresh Resource. When generating the component, the dataset used by the component will be generated together. Here we suggest to convert the dataset used by the component to a built-in dataset before generating the component, so as to avoid that the component can't find the dataset when reusing it. Next, let's learn how to centrally manage resources in FVS Resource Center. Click Server My FVS Resource Management. We can see the different resource types. Although the management of resources with different types is independent, the management setting items are consistent. Let's introduce the settings of each function. Take Image Resource as an example. The default image component contains a group named Embedded Group of built-in resources. We can add a group here and double-click on the group name to rename it. When the mouse is hovering over a resource, buttons of Edit, Move and Delete will appear in the upper right corner of the resource, allowing you to perform the corresponding operations. Edit is just to edit some attributes of the image resource, Move allows you to move the current resource to another group, and Delete allows you to delete the current resource. We can modify this component cover, and the image resource also supports Set 9 Patch. 9 Patch is usually used for the component border's background. Click on How to set the 9 Patch files. You can refer to the corresponding document. Here you can also batch move or delete our component resources, also can batch search, sorting or tag filtering. FVS Resource Center includes 4 types of resources: template, component, image, and video. We can copy the resources under the path to other people, put them under the same path, and then synchronize the update through the Refresh Resources in the Resource Center. Note that since both resources and their creation information are stored in the Reuse folder, the resource format should be uniformly processed. At last, we introduce Part 4, Template Preview and Mounting. FVS template created by FineReport can be previewed not only on PC, but also on mobile phones, tablets, and other mobile devices. The version before version 2.1.1 does not have a button to switch between PC and mobile. Click on the preview, directly is the effect of the PC. Version 2.1.1 added a button to switch between PC and mobile modes. Select the corresponding mode, click preview, then you can see the corresponding effect. Select PC button, click preview, this is the effect of PC, hold down the shift mouse into a cross-shaped button, through the box, you can realize the zoom display box selected content. Keep the mouse still, the upper right corner close button disappears. After the mouse moves, the upper right corner close button appears. Click the close button to close the effect. Mobile preview, select the mobile mode, click preview, then you can see the effect of mobile terminal. The left side of the preview interface shows the simulation effect of mobile H5, and the right side shows the QR code and link for mobile access. This simulation can be used for some interactive operations, which is the same as the mobile interactive effect. Here, we check the URL of the mobile preview, and we can see that the URL comes with the suffix op equals mobile. Before version 2.1.1, you need to manually add an op equals mobile parameter after the URL of the PC preview, so that you can call the preview page of the code scanning. Anyway, the app version and HTML5 mobile display plugin version must be version 11.0.83 and above. We should note that mobile templates have some unique attributes compared to the PC. For example, since the phone screen is smaller than both PC and pad, we need to reset some templates layout. Also, 3D components and expand the type of chart components are not supported when the templates are previewed on mobile terminals. For more details, please refer to FVS Mobile Attribute documentation. We will not explain more here. After creating a template, sometimes we need to mount the template to the decision-making system for other common users to view. In this case, we can log into the platform by clicking Server Platform Management. Click System Management, Directory Management, Add Template. The view type of the added templates is Preview. The terminal can be selected according to your needs. Click OK. Then go back to the directory. You can see the template we just made. That is all.